After the fall to the dark side by the legendary Jedi Knight and General in the Grand Army of the Republic, Anakin Skywalker, by the hands of Darth Sidious, the secret Sith that controlled the Galactic Republic, the new Sith Lord, now called Darth Vader, was dispatched to Mustafar, where the Separatist Council was gathered. The Separatist Council at this point was the leading body of the Confederacy of Independent Systems, which was at war with the Galactic Republic as they were trying to fight for their succession. Darth Vader was sent to the volcanic planet of Mustafar to eliminate the leaders of the Confederacy and send out a shutdown code to its droid armies. As he did this, his wife, Senator Padme Amidala, arrived on the planet in a desperate search for her husband after his former master, Obi-Wan Kenobi, told her of the raid that Vader had held on the Jedi Temple and the hundreds of Jedi that he had slaughtered. When Vader meets the Senator, he told her of his turn to the dark side and how together they could rule the galaxy. While Vader told her this, his Jedi Master, Obi-Wan Kenobi, appeared at the edge of the boarding ramp of the ship that Padme had arrived on. At the sight of his old master, Vader became enraged and believed that Padme had brought Obi-Wan there to kill him, when in fact Padme had no idea that Obi-Wan had stowed away on her ship. Vader was so enraged that he began to force choke Padme and knocked her unconscious. Vader and Obi-Wan then engaged in an epic lightsaber battle that eventually led them down to the planet's many lava rivers, where the two fought on floating platforms and mining droids. Kenobi jumped off a floating platform onto the bank of the lava river. He had the high ground. Arrogantly, Vader tried to jump over him, but Obi-Wan knew how to counteract this, and he cut off Vader's left arm and two legs, and the body was then sent tumbling towards the lava flow. His body then lit on fire, and he cried out in pain as his former master left him to die. Darth Sidious, his new master, felt a disturbance in the Force. He found the severely wounded Vader and took him back to Coruscant in a medical capsule, as the Sith could not afford to lose Vader after he had just put the galaxy under Sith rule once again. The newly promoted Emperor turned to the Empire's best scientist, and by his orders, Vader was put into a life-sustaining black suit of armor that outfitted him with 3 new robotic limbs by numerous droids, skilled in both cybernetic reconstruction and medical surgery. Darth Vader also had many apprentices like how his master had him, and like his master, Vader protected his apprentices to the best of his ability until they had run out of usefulness, the most notable of all being Galen Marek. Living aboard Vader's flagship, the Executor, and given the codename Starkiller, the apprentice repressed all the memories of his previous life as the child of a Jedi, and spent the next 2 decades training as a Sith under Darth Vader's supervision, with the ultimate goal of standing at Vader's side against Vader's master, Palpatine. Darth Vader was not a kind guardian, and his brutal training methods bordered on torture. He taught Starkiller to draw on his hate and rage for power, while giving him training in only the basics, before forcing the apprentice to develop his own methods through sparring matches and brutal tests. Starkiller was provided with a lightsaber training holodroid, Proxy, who was capable of incredibly imitating Jedi, and programmed to regularly attack Starkiller with lethal intent to keep him sharp. Another brutal training regimen devised by Darth Vader. Starkiller took on the role of Vader's personal assassin and enforcer, dispatching problematic individuals throughout the Imperial military and government with vicious enthusiasm. Starkiller personally developed into an Imperial loyalist, viewing these assassinations as a form of service to the Empire. He was provided with a custom-designed ship, the Rogue Shadow, and an Imperial officer assigned to serve him as pilot. Though Starkiller was a skilled pilot in his own right, Vader preferred that his apprentice focus on meditation and other exercises, while an enlisted pilot delivered him to his destination. There was evidently a high turnover for such individuals, as they were either killed in the field or executed by Darth Vader. While engaging Vader in a sparring match, Starkiller expected it to end as business as usual. However, at the end of it, Vader ordered Starkiller to kneel before him. Believing that his time had come to an end, Starkiller obeyed and waited for death. Instead, Darth Vader knighted him formally, officially recognizing him as his apprentice for the first time, something that Starkiller always believed himself to be. He declared Starkiller's training complete and dispatched him on his first test. The surviving Jedi Master, Raheem Kota, was attacking an Imperial shipyard above Nar Shaddaa. In response, Vader ordered Starkiller to kill Kota and to bring the Jedi's lightsaber back as proof of Kota's death. Vader also left Starkiller with orders to leave no witnesses by killing everyone on the shipyard, including Imperial troops, an order which the Imperialist Starkiller found disturbing. But not wishing to displease his master, Starkiller was quick to hide his reluctance and voice his compliance, convincing himself that it was just another stepping stone to achieving his Sith destiny. Upon his completion of the mission, he did many more like it for his master over many years. Shira Elan Colla Brie was a human female born on the planet of Coruscant at the height of the Galactic Empire. As a Force-sensitive, Brie's childhood was spent in the Imperial Palace of Emperor Palpatine. Brie was chosen for the adolescence introduction via the Commission for the Preservation of the New Order, where she quickly became the Order's premier inductee, and her success there saw her fast-tracked into a similar Imperial program by her superiors. Brie's impressive achievements were noticed by the Emperor's foremost servant, Darth Vader, who recommended Brie for training in the Empire's Imperial Intelligence Division. The young woman soon excelled in all aspects of her training and became proficient in nearly all exotic martial arts. Brie's body was also biologically enhanced with accelerated healing and maximum increase in her pain threshold. Brie also received instruction under Darth Vader during the night in utmost secrecy. Although the Sith Lord's teachings weighed Brie down, she was able to maintain her position as the Institute's best cadet. Her time in the Imperial Training Academy became one of the few instances in the young Force-sensitive life that she felt that others truly cared for her well-being. She wore an oath of loyalty to the Empire, to which she attached great importance. Soon after, Shira Brie graduated from the Imperial Academy. Lord Vader granted Brie the rank of Major in Imperial Intelligence, and he arranged for the young Force-sensitive to be dispatched on a solo mission. Brie proved herself able, and Vader was further encouraged to personally field her as an operative in his attempts to rid himself of the Rebel Alliance. She then became a double agent in the Rebel Alliance, and after Vader's death would never receive any more teachings from him. Tau, a human male that lived on the planet Samari. He was a part of a small Jedi community living there during the years of the Galactic Empire. The Empire had outlawed all Jedi, hunting them down whenever they could. Despite this prohibition, Tau was trained by a bearded Jedi. As the Galactic Civil War progressed, the Empire discovered the Jedi presence on Samari, and launched a mission to subjugate the planet in response to both Rebel and Jedi activity on the world. The Imperials ordered several Star Destroyers to orbit Samari and subject it to heavy orbital bombardment. Meanwhile, the Jedi that were on the planet fought against Stormtrooper legions who were operated under the command of Darth Vader. Vader, however, was able to single-handedly kill several of the defending Jedi, while several more were overrun by waves of Stormtroopers. Both Tau and his master directly faced Vader's onslaught. In the ensuing fight, Tau's master was killed by Vader. Upon witnessing the death of his master, Tau gave into his anger and wished to continue fighting the Sith Lord. Vader, however, could feel the hate and anger that radiated off Tau in the Force, and decided to spar the young boy in order to take him as his own secret apprentice. As Vader and Tau departed the planet, the Imperial fleet unleashed a massive bombardment which completely annihilated the planetary surface. Following the devastation of Samari, Vader attempted to train Tau in the ways of the dark side. Although Tau proved his skills, Vader was ultimately unable to get the boy to fully submit into his anger. Meanwhile, Vader was called upon to deal with the Battle of Yavin, which saw the destruction of the Death Star superweapon. Upon returning to Coruscant, the Dark Lord was faced with the wrath of his own master, the Emperor, who was displeased with Vader and his inability to stop the Death Star from being destroyed. At the conclusion of this meeting, Vader returned to his meditation chamber, feeling angry and frustrated. There, Tau confronted the Sith Lord. Fuming at what happened at the Yavin system, Vader demanded that Tau attack him with all of his anger in an attempt to strike him down. Tau, however, could not bring himself to totally give in to rage, earning his master's disapproval at lacking sufficient hatred to be a Sith. Attempting to push Tau over the edge, Vader reminded his young apprentice all of that he had taken away from him: his homeworld, his master, his friends, and his family. Despite Vader's probing, Tau could not understand why his master was demanding such anger from him, Vader's explanation being that only the strong deserve to live. This led Tau to vow that he would never become strong. Soon after the training session with Tau ended, Vader learned the identity of the rebel pilot who destroyed the Death Star, his son Luke Skywalker. Unsure of what to do with this information, Vader began to meditate on it, only to be approached by Tau once again. Though the boy informed Vader that he had been practicing and believed himself ready, Vader told his apprentice that he had no time for him, nor his weakness, and that he was free to go out into the galaxy. Feeling shocked and betrayed, Tau demanded to know why Vader did not simply let him die on Samaria, but received no answer from his former master. Tau's freedom did not last long. He was soon captured by Palpatine and taken by the Emperor's royal guards to confront Vader aboard the newly christened Executor, a superstar destroyer. Palpatine, displeased that Vader had betrayed him by hiding his young apprentice, he demanded that Vader strike Tau down. Though Vader did not wish to do so, Palpatine took control of his limbs, forcing Vader to strike Tau across the chest with his lightsaber. The blow, however, did not kill the young boy. Instead, Tau was mortally wounded. Unsure of the innate reasoning by his action, Vader took Tau back to his homeworld of Samari, and carried the dying boy to the site where he was born. Vader believed that Tau would hate him for what he had done. When Tau thanked him for allowing him to die in his home world, however, Vader was shocked. Before dropping out of consciousness, Tau informed Vader that there was still some good in him, and pleaded that he did not give in to the Emperor's hatred. As Tau lost consciousness, Vader felt remorse for the first time in many years. One last thing before the video ends. I just want to say I didn't go into full stories with context with other apprentices besides Tau, because I really want to focus on how Vader trained his apprentices, and not so much their actual stories. I might make a separate video on Galen Marek and his clones another time, but Tau's death directly related with his training, so I thought it was important to completely read out his story as compared to the other apprentices. And the reason why Vader's apprentices did not break the rule of two was because, much like Count Dooku's apprentices, these assassins, almost, were not fully fledged Sith, and therefore did not break the rule of two. But in Vader's case, he did try to train his apprentices so that they could stand with him to overtake the Emperor and then be promoted to Sith. That's all for this video, and you should be able to expect the review of the Clone Wars Season 7 Episode 10 either tomorrow or the next day. But until then, may the Force be with you.